In this video, we bring to you the untriumphant return of a car that none of you actually seem to understand, myself included. But before that, this video is once again brought to you with Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform for entrepreneurs to stand out and succeed online. Whether you're just starting out or managing a growing brand, Squarespace makes it easy to create a beautiful website, engage with the audience, and sell anything from products to content to time, all in one place, all on your terms. They further improve their offering, and there's loads of new things available to go and take advantage of using that code below. You'll save money on your first website using that link below, using that code, so make sure you bookmark that. Even if you're not using it now, you'll save money on your first website. So something I've not talked about before, Squarespace actually uses design intelligence. Using the power of AI enables you to create a stunning website exactly as you need it using the power of AI. You really got to go and have a little go on it on Squarespace to fully understand how powerful this tool is. It's absolutely incredible. It's mind-blowing. For those running their website as a commercial entity as well, you've got Squarespace Payments. Squarespace Payments is the easy way to manage your payments in one place. Onboarding is fast and simple. Just get started in a few clicks and start receiving payments right away. Plus, give your customers more ways to pay with their popular payment methods as well. These include Klarna and others. So you can actually take client bookings now as well with Acuity scheduling. That's a new feature that I wanted to talk about and I haven't actually mentioned before. You can do invoicing through your site. There's SEO tools and you can also sell content. This is a massive one. Loads of people selling courses, webinars, all of that stuff. You can sell that through your site with ease on Squarespace. So as always, then keep me posted with what you create. I love seeing the websites that you guys and girls are building, whether or not they're passion projects or businesses or one that turns into another. Make sure you are DMing me on Instagram and keeping me posted with what you're creating. Anyway, for now, let's jump in the car and go and see probably the dumbest thing I've ever bought. And that is saying something. Let's go.
Squarespace aside then, welcome back to TGTV, and more specifically, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cotswolds and my Defender. Today we're off to go and see a project that I started, I think probably a few months ago now, but I've been a very busy bee. I have just got back from the Monaco Formula 1. Prior to that, I was in Dubai. I flew straight from Dubai to Nice. There's a direct flight, who knew? Prior to that, I was in Barcelona, doing something with a brand that I think I'm still in contract that I'm not allowed to talk about until the start of June. And prior to that, I was on my stag do in Ibiza. I went to Marbella to see Ianthe. And then I was in Scotland filming the video that just went out last. So lots of traveling in May. I think this is the last video of May. I think I've only put out 2. But today, we're in the Cotswolds towards the end of May, going and seeing a project that I started a few months ago. I bought an Isuzu Vehi-Cross. Lots of you don't know what that is. I did a video with it revealing it a little while ago, and a lot of you are still none the wiser despite the fact I've shown you what it is. I'm still not 100% sure what I've bought, and we're about to go and find out. It's been worked on by a lovely chap called Zach, and he's done a full diagnosis on the car. So we're going to go and see it. We're going to see exactly how bad what I've bought is, because I bought it from a guy's driveway rotting. I found it on Facebook Marketplace. And the thing was basically abandoned on someone's driveway. It was previously owned by someone that is now dead. It then fell into the hands of the chap that I bought it from, who left it rotting. I found it on Facebook Marketplace, probably with the most ridiculous advert I've ever seen. Photos taken on a potato. Mr. Paul Wallace would be horrified by the state of the advert. But I thought, do you know what? I'll take a punt. I've always loved the Vehi-Cross. I think they're absolutely fantastic. I'll take a punt. So I've paid proper money for this car, and we're going to go find out whether or not I've bought something that is really, really, really bad. My main worry with this car is that it's rotted the whole way through, and that it's so corroded that it's kind of going to be impossible to do any form of restoration or any form of like repair job on it without spending thousands and thousands and thousands. I don't mind scruffy, but what I do mind is rotted chassis and completely unstable underneath. I just can't have something that's completely rotted through. So we'll find out. We will find out. So that's my main concern. You know, aesthetically, bodywork, all that kind of stuff, that's actually relatively easy to sort. And if you know a good body shop, which I do, that's an easy fix. That's an easy fix. You know, the interior being a bit scruffy, a bit messy, a bit stained, whatever, who cares? All that stuff is very, very doable. But rust and structural stuff, that's bad. You know, if it's been in a massive shunt or something like that as well, again, that's really, really bad and not something you can just bodge and fix with you know, meeting a few people for some WhatsApps. Oh, we've had I've had an accident here, ladies and gents. I do hope everyone's okay. Oh dear, he's come off. Seems to be okay though. Good. So anyway, let's go and see the car. Oh, I've been in Berlin as well. I've also been in Berlin with Mercedes doing some filming with them. We've had a very busy few weeks, ladies and gents. Busy, but not very important, sadly. Let's park up then and go and see the thing. I think it's been jump-started and some fuel's been put in it, and it should be left running in the middle of the yard. So let's go see it. Right then, here she is. She's actually up and running. She's fired up and ready to go. We have had, as I say, a full rundown and a full diagnosis as to what is wrong with this car. But you'll notice the tyre is no longer flat and she does move. I'm going to jump in a minute and do a little lap of the unit here, but she's not looking any better. Gotta say, she's not looking any better. Still looking very tired indeed. We've had some time outside. So, right then, let's go through everything that is wrong with this car, and then I'm going to jump in it and have a little first kind of move, if you like. Not a first drive, not fully insured yet, it's not fully roadworthy, so we're not going to go too crazy. So then, the jobs list is pretty extensive, but actually not as extensive as we may well have thought to begin with. There is actually no holes and no rust underneath it. The bodywork is probably the worst part of it. So, first things first, the front lower arm ball joints are completely shot. You can't really see them. I mean, you can see enough in there to realise that it's not great. Front lower arm ball joints then need replacing. The exhaust needs replacing. We've got half an exhaust on there. It's not looking particularly happy under there, I must say. We've got half an exhaust. Already done on the car then, we've had rear brake lines done across the rear axle. They've already been done because they had to be done as a matter of urgency. So rear brake lines have been done. The rear has been undersealed as well. You might have just seen that. You can see some underseal in there. The whole car is going to need doing, but the undersealing has been done at the back. We've got aftermarket springs in there as well. You can see it's all a bit of a mess, but we also need new discs and new pads all the way around. So the brakes, I think just as a result of the car being sat around forever, discs and pads are shot. Front right caliper needs rebuilding as well, but we're not going to replace all the calipers because that's just going to be needlessly expensive. But one caliper needs rebuilding. And in the engine bay then, oh God, we do need some wiring done in here because there are some lights coming up on the dash. Not the end of the world in here, but we do need some wiring. As I say, it's got this V6 DOHC in it. It's a sort of video that you film with more than one person with more than 5 minutes to do it, but there we go. We've got on the dash, we've got the fuel light on, which is weird because I did put some fuel in there. We've got the ABS light on, and we've also got a generic warning light as well, which could be the handbrake, but it isn't because the handbrake's not on. So we've got a few bits and bobs to be getting on with, but a bit of rewiring and happy days. Other little gremlins we've got. Windows don't go up and down, good. The battery is dead, it needs a new battery. We've just jump started it just now before filming this. But overall, actually not bad at all. As I say, there are no holes in the chassis at all. That is an absolute result. It's going to get a full under seal and a clean out underneath, but then it's going to get all sealed and ready for some action. Obviously the bodywork is a nightmare. The paintwork's not so bad. It's actually just the kind of the plasticky bits that are the biggest mess, but these can be redone relatively easily, this plastic, and retreated and recoated. That's not going to be the end of the world, but the paintwork is actually okay, and it's a satin paintwork, so very, very rare option. Headlights can be restored pretty easily indeed, and all of this stuff, I think you'll be surprised, will come up pretty well pretty quickly. Anyway, let's jump in then and move her around a little bit. Bit of a messy place to be. We've still got all the detritus in here. Oh, here we go then. As I say, it's not roadworthy, it's not insured, but we are on private land here. So let's put it into reverse then. We've got what sounds like parking sensors. I mean, she moves. I can't tell you how much chaos I'm actually going to cause in this car when it's done. I cannot tell you how much hell is going to be caused. Late Como, concourse, elegance, all of those things. You may see this thing honking around, towing a 250 or similar. It actually feels all right. I'm actually pretty happy with it. I know we're getting a very, very short little feeling here. It's good. Power steering seems to work. I mean, I don't want to tempt fate, but it's throaty. Feels pretty smooth. I'm amazed. It's literally just been sat around, put some fuel in, jumped it, and it does move around. We've replaced all the oil and all the filters and all that stuff. That's already been done. So like a basic little service has been done on it. But actually, pretty decent. I could get used to this. We've got Recaros here. Look at that, chaos. Bit of armpit there as well. I'm actually really impressed. None of the lights have gone off, but the gearbox does line up with the dash. Like those lights seem to work. The head unit and everything's powered. I'm actually pretty impressed, ladies and gents. Okay, right, before something blows up or goes wrong, I'm gonna put it back because I can't face this being marooned in the middle of the unit here and getting told off. He did say, don't go far in it, so. We've got like high range, low range, all sorts of like diffs and clever stuff here as well. We've got heated wing mirrors. We've got electric wing mirrors. We've got a power button. We've got a winter button. It's actually pretty chaotic in here. There's quite a lot of tech going on, and we've got carbon door skins as well. No sunroof, but who needs that when you're driving through ponds and whatnot? Mega. Okay, fine, good. Right, a little update then with what we're affectionately now knowing as the Croc, because it looks like a croc on wheels. So in Croc we trust. Stay tuned for the next episode with this car when I eventually get down to the Cotswolds next and work out what we're doing. I think the aircon actually works as well. That is mad. I'm actually really excited for this thing to be finished. I think you're probably still all at the stage where you think I'm absolutely mad for even bothering with this. Oh, I think we're gonna get hit here. Oh, go away. Go on. Go on then. Go around me. Go around me. What's going on here? I think he's very stroppy. Sorry. Just a man in his croc. Oh, he was upset. I'm actually really excited. As I say, I'm really excited for this thing to be finished. I think you are probably all still at the stage where you think I'm mad and you wonder what on earth I've done, but this will make sense. When it's done, this will make sense, I promise you. It will be cool. It will be really, really cool. And the adventures that I want to have in this thing, as I say, I might start towing the 250 around with it through London, down to Italy, Lake Como, go to Monaco in it. You name it, the Croc is going to... It's going to be an ever-present issue for a lot of people. So we'll see. We will see. So stay tuned for the next episode when I'm going to get it roadworthy, MOT'd, and take it out for a proper hoon. Then it's going to go to body shops and all sorts of bits and bobs. I think it might need to spend some time on a ramp before that though, so stay tuned. Anyway, for now, thank you very much for watching. Do subscribe, blah, 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 and I will see you all with the Croc very, very soon. Ciao.